Can we wait till we're all alive on the other end of this to go back to arguing with each other? But in the meantime, let's focus on providing emergency rooms on any platform, video, no video. It doesn't really matter right now. Set up these emergency rooms, get your home groups. There's nothing there's nothing that removes fear in this time for addicts than to sit in a room and see their home group members again. That is a powerful experience that restores hope in people that don't have that right now. So we did this today, we did this last week, and we'll continue to do it every day that we can. And it's for that purpose, putting home group members back in the rooms with each other that will give each other hope to get through this crisis. That's all I got. Thanks, Shane.
Thanks, Kelly. And yeah, and I want to, of course, I have my philosophical stuff too, but here's what I want to say. That North Star was founded, and that, it was founded on autonomy, and that we were going to meet the needs of our attendees. We were going to train anyone who wanted to be trained to do what they felt was appropriate by their group conscience, which is why we have tried to do these webinars that feature multiple platforms to meet, not just one. We talk about what are some of the underlying things that once you decide on a platform because of your accessibility, then how do you facilitate your meeting? What is familiar about your home group and other meetings that you attend in person that you feel like is an established atmosphere of recovery? And how do you replicate that as best you can in a virtual setting? So how do you make the meeting quiet? How do you establish a share order? All these things that, we don't care what you want to do. What you want to do is what you want to do. We don't want to control you and stop you from doing what you want to do. We want to teach you how to learn and teach others, so that the many voices that's spoken of in the fifth tradition, okay, in our basic text, the one message and the many voices continue to grow around the world. And so that's why we kind of settled on the term virtual fellowship development. Many of us from the older days are used to outreach. And so that's what we are. That's why we are here every Sunday now, and we're available to you all for trainings and stuff, is that if you have great ideas, we are very happy that you have great ideas. How can we help you bring those ideas to life? Because our creativity is what's going to unite us. Our diversity is our strength, and we want to encourage diversity, not uniformity. We want to encourage diversity. So before I start crying, because that's coming if I keep on, we're used to ending right about now, but we still have 152 people on here. We've had a ton of questions in the chat, and I'm not certain at this point how we should proceed with the questions. We're definitely going to answer them.
So Shane, we have an hour until the car workshop starts. So as far as I'm concerned, you guys can use this right up until maybe like 10 minutes before the car workshop starts, because we'll have to pass hosting and do all that for the car cat workshop.
Then that's okay. That's what we're going to do. And so what you guys have just witnessed is this is a very common thing with the North Star group, is that the needs of our attendees change rapidly from moment to moment.
Somebody else is going to need the meeting space, just like you would at a regular meeting space.
So we have a conference agenda report, conference agenda track workshop beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern, and our RDs are going to take over, our regional delegates. But until then, we're going to do the best we can to get to as many possible points that we didn't cover during that. Chris, we had an extremely useful question at the beginning that I wrote down, and it was from one of our friends in North Carolina, and it was speaking to Zoom's terms of licensing and sharing your login information as opposed to sharing the host key, because those are two different things. And it appears from our friend's comment that sharing your login information goes against the terms of licensing. So we may not want to, we don't want to endorse or not endorse that. Like, that's up to you. What we don't want to do is we want to make sure we don't give you bad information. So that is a choice for you to do or not to do. Then it's possible that you may lose your Zoom account because you have gone against the terms of licensing. But what I don't know is host key. Chris, do you have any idea about host key? And is it okay to share that? Or are we going to get into making shit up and talking about stuff we shouldn't be talking about?
Let's just play it safe.
Sure.
The host is going to start the meeting. Someone else can join, give them the host controls, and you can leave. That's 100% within their contract. That just
So you're saying
safe.
enable co-host in your account in the basic meeting settings. That means turn it blue because it begins gray, and when you enable it, it becomes blue. And then when your other co-hosts get to the meeting, or your other chairperson, the person with the account shows up to the meeting, the other person joins, they click participants, they go over next to their name, and they hit make host or make co-host, and then now the host has been passed.
So last night for my home group, I wanted to get off the meeting, but they wanted to stay and they wanted to hang out. So I made someone else the host. It's my account. I made them the host, and I just logged off, and the meeting kept going with a new host. That's well within what we can do with Zoom. That's the safest thing. Let's not get into the host key or sharing accounts. Just if you can just do that, it's nice and simple. Start the meeting, make someone else the host, and you can leave if you have to.
That's the easiest thing. That's also more like, hey, our home group, we only keep 1 or 2 keys to the building, and the secretary or the chairperson, whatever you call it, has the key, and they go open and then they go back to work or whatever. I mean, when you have multiple meetings, we went from 1 meeting a week to 7 meetings a week in one day. The North, and I mean, many of us have done that. Even people who just started a meeting 3 days ago decided to go. Amy and them have been meeting for, over a year,